Hey everybody, another Challenger replay, and this time we're on the new map, Overlord. This is an absolutely fantastic map. This is probably the only good map Wargaming have made since Steps. I will say that quite confidently. This map is brilliant. As with South Coast, the beach is an idiot trap. Don't go there ever. There is no reason to ever go on the beach, because even if you push the length of it without being spotted, there will be somebody sitting at the top of one of the off-ramps with a very big gun waiting to pop you in the face for being such a moron. Do not go beach. Now that we got that out of the way, one of my favourite positions is the east side of the map, playing in the little hedgerow fields up there. The hedgerows give you decent camouflage, while the slight mounds around them give you good hold-down positions. They also mean that if you dive into one of the fields to, say, cage fight somebody, you can't really be shot from outside of it unless somebody rides right up onto the hillside, exposing themselves. It's really, really great. It's fantastic fun in the light tanks to just dive into one of those and brawl with the other light tanks. So I take up a position on one of the hills, looking across the middle field to see if anybody will cross it, and just wait to see what turns up. First thing lit is a Sherman in the middle of the map by the big bunker.
Target unlocked.
I get a bounce off of him there, but do get a penning shot, and then he's tracked. Drops his repair kit, he's out of my shot. He's not my problem anymore, somebody else can deal with him. As you can see, the enemy Cromwell and SU-100 have gone on the beach. We have a Wolverine and T-43 waiting around the corner to pop them in the face should they push off the beach. The Cromwell and SU-100 are now effectively out of play. This is why you don't go beach. It's a death trap. Once you're there, you can't get out of it without being shot. Meanwhile, the enemy KV-1 and Tiger are both spotted. Their attention is directed elsewhere. Probably should have put that shot into the Tiger instead, but I didn't really want to be changing targets. The aim bloom on this is a bit of an issue, and not wanting to pop up in the exact same spot because they're probably pre-aimed there, I come up just next to it. The KV's already lower on health, so I put another shot into him and then switch to the Tiger. Now I shouldn't have done that. You need to be decisive with your targets, and you need to either focus the lower health enemy to take his gun out of the game, or focus the higher health guy to make sure your teammates take him down. And at this point the Tiger just decides to charge into my face. I guess he was confident he could kill me, and he very nearly did. I got very, very lucky here, both that the Tiger was a terrible shot, and that the KV-1 was not paying attention as I drove up the hillside there. Very luckily, I'm able to track the Tiger on a hill where he can't depress his gun enough to hit me, and now I can take him apart in relative safety. There's no arty on either team, so I don't have to worry about that. But as you can see, I've already lost nearly all of my hit points. I've gone down from 900 to 181, and it's not even 3 minutes into the game yet. I decided to work on the KV-1 since I really don't fancy my chances against a hold-down T-29, even though the T-29 is pretty low on health and I could feasibly one-shot him if I high-roll. I decided to shift my attention to the east side of the map for a moment, and oh boy am I glad I did. My first shot at the SU-152 unfortunately misses, but my next one doesn't. I don't want to get hit again from the right side by whatever that was. Even though it bounced, its next shot might not bounce, and I really just cannot afford to lose more hit points. I wait and see if the 152 is going to pop up. He's not, but the VK is. I finish him. VK 3002M is lit on my right side. He is stock, or at least part of him is stock. Sneak a shot into the T-34, and then I start looking for an angle on the VK. They're still shooting at me, so I think again and head back into the bowl here, before thinking maybe I can get a shot at this T-29. Now he is looking this way. He doesn't see me at the moment. He was aiming at where I was last spotted. I really don't fancy my chances of penning him, but surprisingly I do, and manage to make a getaway before he actually gets a shot off. Meanwhile, the 152 is poking again, although our Tiger is diving on him to finish him off with support from the T-34 and the Somyor. Amazingly, he manages to kill both the Tiger and the Somyor. I don't know how that happened. He must have shot the Tiger, high-rolled him, and then rammed the Somyor, but either way, he took both of them out of the game, and very suddenly this looks like it might be a loss. Luckily for me, I'm in the perfect position to head back and get resets. Because I'm running optics on this, I can see forever. So I have more than enough view range to spot these guys on cap, and in any case, the Tiger and 2 T-34s are also helping out. And that building is destructible, thankfully, which lets me get all the resets I need. I decide to take the SU-100's gun out, since the T-150 is distracted, and I had plenty of time, didn't need to worry about getting an immediate reset. And then I work on the T-150 and take him out. T-29's threatening to push here, and unfortunately I'm just not quick enough, and he finishes me off. Meanwhile, our Tiger sits around in the open like an idiot getting shot and not repairing his turret. He does finish the T-29 though, and the T-34s begin to push out in front of him. Really, what they should have done was just immediately pushed across the T-29 as a group instead of the Tiger sitting in front of it letting it shoot him and the T-34s fucking off. But puppies will be puppies. Not much you can do about that. At this stage, I was legitimately worried about them throwing the game, because this T-34 has just run headlong into something he can't kill. He still has the 76mm gun, the F-34, and the Tiger is very low on health. It's not entirely unlikely that the VK will be able to finish him off, especially since the Tiger has a broken turret. Thankfully, the T-34 is actually paying attention and runs in to support the Tiger. He gets the VK's attention, and the Tiger gets the finishing shot. So again, the Challenger is capable of putting out pretty good damage when it's top tier, but it's so fragile you just cannot afford to take those hits, and it's so big and unwieldy that you will take those hits. If I was in a Cromwell, I probably would have got away without taking more than 1 or 2 small hits. If I was in a Comet, same thing. If I was in the Firefly, even, despite the Firefly being a big target and relatively slow, it does have some semblance of armor, and it also just handles better. But the Challenger is just a perfect storm of poor life choices, and so even though I have gun depression to work with these hills, I don't have the camouflage to do it, and I don't have the sorry, not the hull armor, the turret armor to do it, and my turret is really tall anyway, so being hull down doesn't matter because I've got this great big stupid air vent sticking out above my gun, which is pretty much a giant neon shoot me here sign. So while I can get some pretty high damage games in this thing, considering its place as a tier 7 TD and its low alpha gun, that's not going to qualify it or redeem it as a good tank in my books, because it's not. The fact that I was able to farm over 3k damage this match says nothing of the Challenger's qualities and says everything of the incompetence of the enemy team. The fact they let me do that to them with a gun that only does 150 alpha per shot from memory. And that's how things go on the Challenger. The only time you're likely to have a really, really strong showing in this tank is when you come up against an enemy team that is so bad and so oblivious, they just ignore you. Whether you're top tier or bottom tier, really the only thing that will save you in a Challenger is being ignored. And sometimes, especially when people are running XVM, you don't get ignored. So my experience in this thing so far has been pretty fucking miserable. Despite the occasional standout game, a lot of the time I end up in a situation like this where I'm relying on my puppy teammates because I get killed right before the end of the match. and on more than one occasion it's lost me the game. So again, definitely not recommending this thing. If you have to go through it to get to the charioteer, if you can't just free XP the charioteer, then make sure you have a stiff drink, some good friends willing to help carry you through it, and a lot of patience, because it's not really a fun tank to play. And I mean, I'm the kind of person that likes bad tanks, maybe not to the extent of Primal Lord, but I will defend a lot of tanks that people call bad. I will not defend this one, and I won't be keeping this one either. Once I've ground through it, I will be selling it, because I just can't see myself really ever playing it again. It's not fun to play, it's not a particularly nice looking tank, so it's not even one I'm going to keep for eye candy. So, as much as I feel bad for shitting on a tank so thoroughly, it's not something that appeals to me at all, and I don't think it's going to appeal to many people, when the Firefly, a tier before it, is so much better at everything that it tries to do. On that note, I'm going to stop the video here, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me flail about trying to carry this game and dying anyway, and as ever, I will see you on the next one.